It is indeed great news. talkSPORT securing the live rights to Joshua Usyk August the 20th in Saudi Arabia. Will Joshua get his own back after Usyk beat him last time around? It's a slight disappointment to you, Simon, that it's there and it's not here, that we're not seeing it here.
Yeah, if there was a disappointment, that would be it. But I'm more interested in the fight. We're going to see the fight. That's what everybody wanted to see. They wanted to see it in short order.
Going to see it and hear it.
We've now got it.
Yeah.
We're going to see it and hear it. And I think it probably represents the most fascinating fight that we've seen for some time, because we need to see Anthony Joshua do something markedly different this time round. Otherwise, we're looking at the potential end of his mainstream career. And we are expecting Alexander Usyk to do the same. I think it's fascinating. I think it's far bigger than the Tyson Fury versus Dillian White fight in terms of scale, reach and interest, irrespective of 94,000 fans. If he was fighting this fight in Wembley, they get 94,000 fans for this. This is a fascinating fight. The question is, can Anthony Joshua do something that most people think he can't?
I think it becomes bigger now than AJ Andy Ruiz Jr. return.
Yeah,
purely because, Andy Ruiz turned up, he was in terrible condition, and you looked at it and you thought, you know what, AJ's just got to do what he does best. Box and stick to the boxing plan, and he's going to outbox this guy because he's out of shape. But guess what? Alexander Usyk, what they've been through since September 21, their last fight, what Usyk's been through, going to war for his country, etc., being released from that. There's a whole backstory to Usyk that maybe gives him even more of a drive. He's been released from the army, and he's in tremendous condition. AJ recognises, and Simon's right in what he says, there's a lot on the line here. If AJ loses this, his marketability, it drops somewhat. He does drop massively. He knows that as well. Lot on the line for both guys, and obviously Tyson Fury is waiting in the wings for the winner of this. So yeah, the next fight for the undisputed could be incredible.
He has yet to fight the Anthony Joshua. Usyk hasn't fought the Anthony Joshua that once existed. Now, whether the Anthony Joshua can exist again, whether the Anthony Joshua that got knocked down by Vladimir Klitschko, and I think has been slightly gun-shy since then, is ever going to manifest himself again, this is the big question. If he does, then he has a really good opportunity to beat Usyk, because the same dynamics apply. Everybody sat here and said this time last year, if Joshua will knock him out, he's too big, he's too strong. And nobody legislated for the fact that Anthony Joshua would do the counter opposite of what anybody with any sense would do, which is try and box and fight Usyk at his own game.
Sure.
I feel, despite my protestations about Anthony being a flat track bully, and despite my fact that I don't think he is anywhere near the level of Tyson Fury, I've got a sneaking feeling there's going to be a big surprise in this fight, because I just think, where else does he go?
He's got all the frustrating...
Usyk's improved as well, Simon.
He has,
Spencer's saying.
But the frustrating thing about Anthony Joshua is that he has got all the tools in the locker to win this fight. He's got size, he's got punch power, he's explosive.
But he's got to want to use that.
But he's got to want to use it, and it's got to be... He can't go in there like a wrecking ball. He can't go in there and think, right, I'm just going to walk through this guy, because Alexander Usyk, his boxing IQ, he can take a shot, he likes getting down in the trenches, he likes having a fight.
But he's also got to jump on him at the same time as well.
Yeah, but so he's got to be educated pressure. He's got to do it in a way where...
So you to me as if it's, all Joshua's got to do is turn up and win it.
Well, listen, that is the thing, Jim. It sounds as simple as that, but it's not. Alexander Usyk is a great fighter who can box, he can fight, and he's developed. This is the key thing as well. This is his full fight at heavyweight now.
Yeah.
And he's developed into a fully fledged heavyweight, and that could be a problem for Anthony Joshua. Joshua starts a big underdog going into this one, by the way. I think he starts a big underdog. It's a bigger mountain to climb than when he boxed Andy Ruiz last time.
And psychologically, I think that probably takes the emphasis of him a little bit, because I think psychologically he was unwound when he went into New York to fight Anthony Ruiz, because the expectation was he was just going to walk through it, just turn up and do what he needed to do, and all of a sudden he got a different dynamic in front of him. He's got to throw punches in bunches. He's going to have to be brave, but he has the power and the toolkit to beat Usyk. Now, of course, Usyk is an elite fighter. Of course, Usyk has now got a completely different dimension, which is he knows he can beat Anthony Joshua. He knows he can hit Anthony Joshua. He knows he can hurt Anthony Joshua. And this is about as much as what Usyk is going to do as it is about Joshua. If Joshua is the best version of himself, he has a good chance.
Yeah.
But he has to be the best version of himself.
Simon, I've got to look at some of the messages coming in. I'll select one. There's a guy who knows his boxing. He's a regular contributor. Guys, all this week, I hear all the talk about Joshua being different. He'll impose himself, etc., etc. Usyk will be even better. He'll do a demolition job on Joshua. Watch out this time for an early
But no one's
KO.
saying that. No one's saying that. They're saying what Anthony's got to do. They're not saying he can do it. They're saying this is what he's got to do to give himself a chance.
And Spencer, what about the comments of Eddie Hearn? Tyson Fury isn't the biggest draw in boxing. Anthony Joshua still is.
He's right.
Yeah, he is. He's still right. You know, if you go outside your boxing fan to your casuals, Anthony Joshua was the brand. Anthony Joshua's the guy that's been built up, the boy that come from this, background of robbing, etc. And he turned his life around. Boxing transformed him. Everybody loved him. But all the sponsors jumped on his back, and he become this global superstar. But I would say that was
limited. Let's put that argument in context. Because in America, they didn't think very much of him.
No.
And they tried to sell him into America, and he got knocked out by Anthony Ruiz.
Yeah.
Or Andy Ruiz. So here we are now saying that the argument is that as a clothes horse, as a brand endorser with Boss and whoever else, everyone loves Anthony Joshua. As far as achievements are concerned, Tyson Fury went over, like the Beatles did,
and conquered America. Absolutely.
Right? So with that in mind, from a worldwide draw, Fury is a bigger name because he's fought Wilder. He's done it in America. He's gone over there, done Nacho Libre. He's done their wrestling, all that sort of crap, and he's got the personality. But in terms of where we sit in our little fishbowl of a world in the UK, Joshua's the bigger name.
Sure.
So what about the casual boxing fan, the man in the street who pays his money and goes to see the fight game that he loves? To him, who's the bigger fighter, Fury or Joshua? To the layman fighting
Do you know
fan.
what? It's a difficult one to call because I think Joshua transformed a lot of those people when he was kicking off, and if we go back to the Vladimir Klitschko victory, etc.
I'd rather go and pay a ticket for Fury.
Yeah, but Fury now has become, in his last couple of fights, has become a global superstar. And you're right, it depends on who he fights. Yeah.
I mean, I would pay. If I was confronted with the choice of Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte or Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk, I'm buying a ticket for Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk.
Sure.
Because it's a more compelling fight.
Yeah.
Both of those fighters have incredible jeopardy in it. Both of them have been world title holders, and they're just the sheer quantum of questions. Sure. I think Tyson Fury can watch again like he did before, because Fury came back when he saw the Anthony Joshua Express leaving the station with all the money.
Yeah.
And hang on a second, wasn't I the one that opened this division up? Wasn't I the one that beat Klitschko when he was the real deal?
Sure.
He's got all the belts, and hang on a second, the Joshua Express is going off with all the bleeding money.
Spencer, you get your Factor 50 ready. You're going, aren't you?
I actually am going.
Jeddah, here you come.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going out on the 15th till the 22nd, actually.
Right.
So we're doing a show after the fight as well. Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's going to be.
Do you think Joshua will come in
experience.
physically lighter or bigger?
I think he'll come in physically lighter. I think that Anthony Joshua, his key weight is anywhere between 17 and 17.2. Yeah. I think that is key. I think if he comes in at 17.5, anything heavier than that may be a problem, because that's where he loses that. If you're doing it in, like, say, if you was explaining it in football terms, if a guy comes in a little bit and he's at 100th of a yard off the pace. Like Anthony Joshua's one of those. If he comes in 3 pounds, forget that it's heavyweights. If he comes in 2 or 3 pounds over the stipulated weight,
does he have to knock Usyk out to
That's
win, or can he do it over 12 rounds?
He has to. Look, someone's getting knocked out here. This is what I say,
so?
The reason I say someone's getting knocked out is because I think that Anthony Joshua has to knock out Usyk, and by doing that, he's got to take the gamble.
Yeah.
So someone's getting knocked.
Spencer Oliver will be there, and talkSPORT will be there to broadcast this highly anticipated rematch between Usyk and Joshua live and free to air from Saudi Arabia as the two heavyweights step back into the ring Saturday the 20th of August. That's a fortnight in Saturday. It's almost upon us. talkSPORT will be the only UK broadcaster to offer the rematch to boxing fans for free. That was a look ahead to the big fight in partnership with William Hill. Top price guaranteed in round betting this weekend. Applies to bets placed through the William Hill website. Prices compared with those Bet365, Paddy Power, Bet Victor, Sky Bet, Ladbrokes, Coral, Betfred websites. Conditions apply. Excludes offers and lay bets. William Hill, it's who you play with. You got to be 18 and be gamble aware.
Big Fight preview on talkSPORT with William Hill's top price guarantee. Will either match or better selected competitors' prices on round betting. Terms and conditions apply. Enhanced prices and lay bets not included. 18 plus. Be gamble aware.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.